Are the worst times ever on earth. I mean, people are so bad now, it's just undescribable. So here's the thing. They're going to have to step outside that box when it comes to securing these kids. They're going to have metal detectors in every school. They're going to have people on these parking lots patrolling. They're going to have mental health assistance. And all of this, people calling in with these pranks, talking about they're going to do something to schools, they should give them 50 years, not 20. Make examples out of it.
Right.
Because
I agree.
This is a serious issue. You know what I'm saying? This is not no playground fight or nothing like that. This is serious. It was really serious after they killed all those little kids in Sandy Hill.
Sandy Hook. Mm-hmm. Sandy Hook. You said it right.
But now it's just crazy. And then you get these people over here talking about their Second Amendment rights. It's just mind-boggling.
Well, and that's why I wanted to, and I appreciate, Terrence, I thank you so much for calling in. And that's why I wanted to get the voice of young people, because like you said, we have been talking for a long time, the 40 and older, and change doesn't happen. So hopefully young folks can get folks to listen and create the momentum that actually brings change when it comes to gun laws in this country, because it is a serious issue. Thank you, Terrence. I want to grab, I think Tony is on hold. Tony, did you have a question or a comment?
Yes, hi, Christine, and all of these beloved, awesome young people. I so appreciate you, and I'm so proud of you. Oh, my goodness. And I agree with what's been said. Gun laws need to be changed. There was some young people, and I have to quote this young lady from Cass. She was on Mama Maya's show after the walkout, and she said when children start acting like leaders and leaders are acting like children, a change will come.
Right. That's exactly right.
One more thing. I wanna comment on the disparity in media coverage as opposed to White Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. You might be able to help me out with this, Christine. Did the FBI put the Black Lives Matter movement under a category of radical racial extremists? Was that what they said?
Well, I've heard that a couple of different ways. I don't doubt it, because there's a history of that. I mean, that's just like, when the Black Panthers started, So I'm not, I can't say for certainty that it was actually done, but I've heard that a couple of times. That it's been categorized as something negative. But I'm glad you raised that, because it's so funny when I was watching the news coverage of the marches and things like that, the student walkout, and it was like, it's so great to see, these young people, expressing themselves and, and I'm sitting here thinking in my mind, so when we're marching and protesting against police brutality, well, it's too radical, or, yes, we are on the same page with that. And that's kind of the conversation. That's why I've enjoyed talking to these young folks sitting here today, because their conversation has been, why are 17 lives more important than one life? When I just watched my daughter say that out of her mouth, I was like, wow. Right. And they get it. I did. I mean, because we didn't have a conversation before I brought her and her friends on the radio today, or my daughter in DC. I wanted to really, because I didn't want to prep them. I want to hear. I want you to just talk off the top of your head. So I'm encouraged to hear that, they get it. 17 lives, while it's beyond tragic, and, they appreciate them starting this march, it is not more important than the young lives that they know that have been shot down in the neighborhoods here in, Atlanta, here in Detroit, or as they said, the things they've grown up around. So I love that they get that point. Right. Exactly. I love that they get that point. So thank you so much for calling in, Tony. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
Keep listening to it for real. I know that we have, I want to get, thank you so much. Again, calling number 313-778-7600. I'm so grateful that folks are calling in and listening to our young people today. I want to come back to talking to you guys about just kind of the disparity with the attention that's been paid to, the mass school shootings, and I don't want to keep calling it black or white, but yeah, they've happened at white schools. And I've heard this a couple of times from a few people, and I want to get your I guess, opinion on this. I've heard people say that they don't think a mass school shooting can happen at more of a predominantly black school, when I've seen that happen. I've seen them bring a gun on campus, but do you think that it matters? Because I don't necessarily think I can think it happen at any school, but what do you think about that?
I don't know, because I don't really want to sound like I'm kind of like laughing right now. This isn't obviously a funny matter, but it was just, I was thinking of a joke somebody had like told me earlier, and they were saying like they wouldn't put this at a black school because the black kids gonna be shooting back.
Oh, so because I've heard that too. But
that's like, to be honest though, like no, I mean I feel like this could happen at any school. I do feel like it can happen at any school, but I mean, obviously you see, like Maya said, all of the shooters have been white males. So I mean, and so yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't think they would go into a school. I mean, if they were racist, maybe they might go into like a school with black people and like shoot them up. But I mean, honestly, I mean, I feel like they go wherever is like in their area of where they live. So I mean, if most likely if it is like a white male, he will live in a more suburban area, or not even suburban, but just an area.
Well, let me ask you this: you guys, the school that you attend right now, Grady High School, is pretty mixed. And although, I mean, it's majority black, but it's still a mixed school. Well, it's about half and half.
Probably about half and half.
So, do you guys have conversations with your white friends at school about this? Like, what is their take on this? Do you feel like, this could happen at Grady?
Well, I mean, Grady is a very open campus, first off. I mean, so I feel like really if it was ever, God forbid that ever happened, but if it did happen, I mean, it would not be hard for like the intruder to gain access to the campus, because like I said, it's very open. Have I ever had a discussion with my friends about it? Not really, but a lot of my white friends are pretty like those. Most of them were the ones who organized the walkout, and a lot of them attended the marches today. So I mean, like I said, but I mean, I don't think they're doing it because like it was white kids that got killed. I think it was just like they were fed up too.
Yeah, got you. No, I don't think that's what they were doing. And kind of hearing, I want to talk a little bit about that. You touched on something, and I want to get your comment on this, Chloe. So part of the things that have been proposed have been, we should arm kids with bulletproof book bags. We should have teachers with guns. And this, these are some of the solutions that have been offered by us as adults, as politicians. What do you think we should do to make the school safer?
Well, before I answer that question, I want to touch on some of the suggestions.
Okay.
The bulletproof book bags and the giving teachers guns. Well, first, that's perpetuating the issue of gun violence.
With the teachers with guns?
Yes, because not all teachers, they're assuming that all teachers are stable enough to carry guns. And I'm not just saying that as a student. I'm just saying that as a person that has spoken to teachers that weren't even my teachers. Not all teachers are equipped to carry guns.
Right.
Just like all everyday citizens are not equipped to carry guns.
Right.
So I feel like that would just be perpetuating the issue. And then as far as giving us bulletproof book bags, I remember how the first caller said that it was so terrible that we were desensitized, but who's really desensitizing us? You're giving us bulletproof book bags and basically telling us that, listen, you're going to school, you might get shot. Like, wow. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Wow. I mean, just to hear your rationale is amazing. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm just saying, those are the things that I've heard. Then I also, like we talked about, different schools being very open in terms of campuses, or, certain schools where it's a building, you go in one way, you come out that way, everything else is locked down. And I know we gotta take a quick break. We gotta take one break because this is such a great conversation about the solutions. I know we have a couple people on hold. That's a great thought to take a break on. Who really is desensitized or desensitizing you guys? Is it us? I think so. But again, join the conversation, 313-778-7600. You're listening to Perspective with Christine Beatty. We're going to pay a few bills and then we'll be right back. What's your boy like? How's your love like? What you gonna cook tonight?